Bootleg podcast, special guest in here, Malcolm Mays. Welcome, sir.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, I know you from Snowfall.
All right.
Which is obviously one of the more legendary television shows of the last, I don't know, forever.
Yeah.
It's one of them ones. But I did not know that you made music. So what were you doing first, acting or the music?
It was always both. So I came up at a church that was in the middle of the 20s called First African Methodist Episcopal Fame.
Okay.
Out of it came 1500 or Nothing. So Rance and them, all from that same church, jamming. And so I've always been musically inclined. It's just everybody else was better than it around me.
Right.
So I didn't think when you hanging around goats, you often think that your talent is minimized.
Right.
But then you also get to stepping around other people and you're like, wait, hold up.
I might have something.
I'm actually they're so amazing that I'm better than everybody else. Well, I could be, possibly, right, if you put the work in time. But I've always been doing music. I've been a songwriter since I was 15. I got my first placement at 16 years old.
What was your placement?
Man, the rest of them got that for me.
Oh, word?
Yeah, they did. It was a blessing. It was I think it was on a TV show or something.
Oh, nice.
It was like a 90210 or something like that. Yeah, my first song independently. Yeah, it was dope.
So obviously, living in LA, a lot of people come here to start acting. What was the origination of you being an actor and actually making a career out of it?
Oh shit, my mama, bro. My mama, grandma, my community, even my church, in church plays. My mom always was trying to find different ways to keep me distracted out the streets, and it didn't work, but she tried her best, and this was one of the things that always stuck. Wendy Raquel Robinson, I gotta give her flowers. She had a school in the hood for acting, Amazing Grace Conservatory, which is still active to this day. And basically she gives grants out to certain kids who she believes is talented to kind of foster and give them a conservatory level training.
Right.
And at a cost, which was no cost for some people, to be honest. And that's produced I think the dude who was in Moonlight and me.
Great movie, yeah.
Yeah, it produced music art, everybody.
So you came out of there?
Yeah, I did. And before that, it was Faith Acting. So it was Faith Acting, then AGC, and they were kind of the same. So it was there. And then, it just kind of kept me out the way. Well, it tried to keep me out the way, yeah.
How? Because the act, obviously, I'm involved in the music industry, and the music industry is it's a lot of it's like hitting the lotto. But for whatever reason, the acting game to me feels even more difficult to get into.
Oh yeah, numerically. I mean, if you look at the people, first of all, music don't have no union, so that's not. I probably
just
can't
everyone moves to LA and it's not all of y'all getting into movies, bro.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's less than 1% of the SAG union works.
That's crazy.
Gets a job a year, and I've been blessed enough to always work, but that didn't come from knowing nobody. I wasn't nobody nephew or son or nothing. I was just me, and blessed enough to have people see me working along the way. So,
what was your first big break on the acting side?
First big break, shit. Well, I made my first big break to me was when I made my first feature. I was 17 years old. I wrote, directed, starred in it because I didn't know no better.
Right.
And I won this grant from Panavision. I was 17 years old. It was supposed to be for college students, but I didn't know. So I just
applied.
I applied, and they gave me this big ass film camera, and so I had to learn how to cut film, my fingers.
So you shot your own shit,
Yeah, really. I was on Super 16. I'm shooting my first feature. I starred in it, directed it. But I had always had a love for cinema, always had a love for music.
Right.
So that was a mode of expression for me. Even when you say the music industry or the film industry, that should be weird to me because that's not I don't have actor friends. I didn't get actor friends till later. I had friends who we throw going away parties, and those going away parties is to turn themselves in. So
to jail, yeah.
That's my friends. So I didn't, even as I was being successful, even when I'm going to Telluride or whatever, and the homies ain't never heard of that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about, Bernardo Bertolucci, niggas don't really know what the fuck I'm talking about, but they supported me, they loved me. I always got love, so I just kept doing it. But the industry, the commodification of art, I still don't get that shit. I don't know how you navigate it. I don't know how my manager Chris Cornish navigated. I don't know how niggas do that. I just make shit and been blessed enough.
And people like it.
Yeah, well, sometimes, but really, I bother niggas. Right. Because ain't shit scarier. Ain't no scary. Ain't nothing scarier than death. So I be pressing, I'm making my shit. I'm going. And if people like it, they like it. So,
how did you initially get into Snowfall? Obviously, John Singleton was behind. God rest his soul. Rest in peace to John Singleton.
Rest in peace to the big homie.
But you were obviously very imperative early in the show.
Yeah.
What was the process of getting on his radar and getting casted in that show?
Well, I had known John since I was 16, 17 years old because of that movie I told you I made.
Right.
So when I made it, I was also working at Sony Pictures under the head of physical production named Gary Martin. He gave me the opportunity to learn the business of filmmaking because I was bothering him. So he was like, it was an internship that I found. I snuck on a lot.
Right.
Talked to people.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was really wild out here. I would ditch. I was going to summer school at Hamilton and ditching.
So you were interning on the movie lot.
Yeah, but nobody really knew how old I was. So they just like let me do shit and I knew what I was talking about, but they didn't know I was a kid. So I was getting checks like 16, 15 years old that were looking like nice, like not crazy, but
Right,
like
but something.
for a
for
15-year-old, you
kid,
getting
yeah.
10 bands, you like, nigga, I'm up. And my
Oh.
family living in the section, I'm like, I'm up. So for me, making that feature film, there were other people like Gary Martin who had built the careers of minority filmmakers. He's a white dude, looked like Santa Claus, right? But he always enabled Black, Latino, and female filmmakers from the 90s, like
Right.
Robert Rodriguez, like all them, and John. And he thought that I reminded him of John. And he would tell John, I got this kid. But until I made my first feature, John wasn't trying to hear it. So when I finally made my first feature, got on the front of New York Times, John was like, okay, I'll listen to this kid. You feel me? And we clicked because he did know who Bernardo Bertolucci was.
Right.
He did know, what burger stand not to go to in South Central Los Angeles. And he knew books and he knew music. And people don't know, John owned a record label, and the first person he ever signed was Nate Dogg.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's like he been that nigga. Like it's always been intertwined. It's never really been separated. And like if you know the history of LA,
Was he also working with Coolio?
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really go crazy. Like
I had the music director dude for the show on the white dude from Compton. What's his name? John Stewart.
Yeah, John Stewart. He for real. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
He for real. He been outside. Like he been outside.
Right. But yeah, nah. So you're like a real just film geek. I mean, you got to be a geek about this shit to really like put your own movie out as a kid. Like,
I mean, shit. I'm like that with music too. Like
So are you editing your own movie?
I did at that time. Yeah. Now it's like it's too easy. Like
I'm saying when you were like back in the day, did you have Final Cut? Like
back in the day, it was Avid, and now you still have Avid. But back then, it was these massive systems that you had to edit on, just like music with engineering.
Right.
It's like
no, it used to be
it's
crazy. Now anybody
Yeah.
can buy a little red box from Guitar Center and
But just like music, everything used to be tape. Everything
Right.
used to be analog.
you had to cut it.
Right, if you wanted that analog feel. So I remember my first film, I cut like on like a Steinbeck.
You were actually like cutting the film.
And then the next film I did like on Avid, which is like ingesting these massive things. I shot on film. I did all that. I've done my work. Like I've really been out here. Probably didn't have to, but but I loved it. When you love some shit, you don't even know that you're supposed to be doing certain things to industrialize, to solidify a career or political. I never did the politics very well, even in music. Like that's why it took me so long to transfer over and do this EP, which is Street Journals Volume 1, June 23rd. And I got these big features, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, where's
Who else on your EP?
Like, bro, if I gotta tell you off camera because it's a surprise.
You're here to promote it. Who's on the EP,
Chris,
man?
can I tell him or am I holding that? It's a big one.
You can tell.
But you can't put it in though. You gotta beep it. You gotta bleep
Okay,
it.
we'll beep it.
So the next single, I'll play it for you. It's Lil Baby.
Oh shit. Jesus Christ.
And then the next one, me and Wally, we just shot a video today.
Oh, shout out to Wally.
Yeah, it's gonna go crazy. Like it's a 5-song EP, but it go crazy. Like it's really different.
Damn, that's a pretty serious feature to get. Is this your first EP?
It's my second one. The first one was Red Flags. Red Flags was more like a gritty R&B.
Would you consider like your movie career is helping you fund your music career now? Because obviously,
100%, everything, right? Like, cause my movie career, acting, I make a bag. That's for the family. But people don't know, like, I'm diversified. I have a real estate investment trust. I got, like, at some point I had an equity stake in the luxury car business during the pandemic because, all the finessers and drug dealers wanted to rent cars.
Oh yes, they did.
I made a bunch of money doing that. But when you say make a bunch of money, it's not like a flex. It's like I just basically took money I was gonna go spend to go buy a dumb car
And
went and invested in a company that had a bunch of cars. So that like whatever's not on the lot, I would just use that. So that was fun because I got to experiment with cars and see what I liked. It's never really motivated by me trying to like, look fly. It's more so me like, how do I not lose this money?
Right.
So I do that. I got but that's all just business ventures to make sure that my mom, my grandma, my son, my seed has something. But the music was always just a passion that I love to do, and I don't want to lose money. And Chris just, he just left Empire to fuck with me. I'm managed by him and Brent's managers, which is Ty Baisden and Jane Andrews. So like a lot of people have banked on me. Venice Music Group is distributing. Like,
that's a dope distro company.
They dope.
My friend Tweez over there.
Yeah. And essentially they just help you if you independent. So a lot of people taking time out, putting sweat equity into me, and I just don't want them to look stupid. So
you're like, I gotta follow through now.
Yeah, so I'm not ashamed of it. I took every dollar I had from all of these different ventures and said, I'm banking on myself with this music shit. So when I was talking to Glasses, I'm like, bro, because you one of the few left real LA media outlets for hip hop.
Right.
Like we are in a dire state, right? Mm-hmm. We got you, we got Community in them, which broke off.
Homegrown Radio, shout out
Homegrown Radio, of course, DJ Head, and of course, like
Chuck.
Chuck is that man. But then it's like Gina when she's not on No Jumper, I guess, and like
she's not on No Jumper now. I think Gina just started her own thing from her apartment.
She should, but she's been doing that. Like she's been hard. Like
no, Gina's dope.
She's all and the DJ, her and the DJ friend, they be doing shit. So like, and they should go crazy.
Yeah.
So
West Coast Confidential was the name of their show they were doing. I don't think it's happening anymore though.
Oh, okay. Well, do you see what I'm saying? We don't have a place to go. All the outlets is on the East Coast or in the South. So
for sure, the East Coast got us sewed up.
So this is important to me because I'm like, well, where did the little homies go tap in to really, because hip hop, music history, like you've been outside and you really love the shit. So I was like, man, who do I talk to? Who do I go tell that, hey, look, I make music. I'm out here and it's not bad. Who do you go to that goes, hey, this nigga go.
Right.
Y'all should check this out. There's only like 3 people and I ain't going to shit on nobody, but I'm not going to the other person because I don't, you're not going to catch me on nobody, like no offense to nobody respectfully on how they get their money, but certain platforms you're not going to see me on because I'm from a certain element and I got a code, I'm not doing that.
Right.
And so it makes it very difficult. So this was very important to me.
Well, I appreciate you coming through, man.
Really important. This is really important.
Well, I appreciate you.
So,
So the EP is June 23rd.
That's when it's dropping.
June 23rd.
We dropping the surprise single feature with the music video and the EP all at once.
We got away from John. You
were
were telling me about how you had.
Well, he taught me how to invest in myself.
Okay, so he had originally taken you serious once he saw you
invest in myself.
You did this movie, your own feature, and all that. So how does that
spiral off? So what ends up happening is he goes, "I'm gonna get you into USC Film School."
Okay.
Because like that's the dream is to have John Singleton walk you into the dean of USC Film School and
right.
you go, which was essentially what happened. But I was still outside. I think there was some, and I always say this. I think he has a son who's a wonderful human being right. and a great, director and creator and visualist as himself. But their relationship was tense, and at that time it was tense. It was great after that, but I think at that time I didn't have me and my pops wasn't really, he wasn't
right.
really around at that moment, so. John kind of filled in, and I kind of filled in for that relationship that he was not repairing with his son, in my opinion, and I could be wrong. And we kind of like bumped heads a lot because it meant a lot to us. I didn't know that until later.
Right.
I just thought he was trying to be my daddy.
Right.
And I'm like, nigga, I don't really want to hear none of that shit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he wanted me to go to school and study filmmaking, but I wanted to study the business of filmmaking because I knew how to make movies.
Right.
And he thought, and he was right. That shit that's not what he walked me in there to do.
Right.
And so we bumped head pretty bad, and I ended up, back in the streets again, doing some things, and he kind of was disappointed, and we kind of like got into it, and then, we ended up rerouting back to each other when I auditioned because Kim Harden, who's his longtime casting director,
auditioned on Snowfall.
Okay. She brought me in originally to audition for Tupac, and then she was like, "You dope! Like I need to fuck with you
for the Tupac movie."
Yeah, he was going to Tupac movie. His Tupac movies. I have the original draft of his Tupac movie.
John Singleton has a Tupac movie.
He has a Tupac movie, and the opening is. I'm not even gonna go crazy. I have that.
Did that movie ever get made? No.
No.
Like,
and it didn't get moved.
It's just not sitting on a shelf because the Tupac movie we got was decent.
Let's not even do that.
It was decent. Benny it was decent. I was gonna say it was decent. I think the Tupac movie we got, it does get some unwarranted hate.
Well, I'm a real nigga. Like I love Benny Boone. Like he did a lot for my section. He did a lot
I think he gets unwarranted hate. Actually, like when I saw it, I was like, I thought they casted the fuck out of Tupac.
But we know that Tupac's biopic deserved the same level of
NWA
reverence, even more. I say that he deserved a Gandhi level,
right?
A Malcolm X level,
for sure.
He was that big of a in that level of cinema. right? And that doesn't mean that Benny couldn't do it, but the budget limited and all that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I just think there was like budget issues. And like, you could kind of tell it's like it should have gotten the same respect as like Ali or something, you know?
Yeah. And so my big homie, Lays, rest in peace, Lucky was right hands with Benny Boom, so he's helped out in the section a lot. Shot the Waka Flocka video in our section and all that. So I show him love.
No, I actually thought it was for like knowing all the restraints and shit. I thought it was solid, and I thought that
I can't say that. I don't feel that way, but I respect.
The kid who played Tupac though looked just like him.
He
Jesus.
Kev, you such a hip hop nigga. Hip hop niggas just like he looked like him.
Man,
that's some real hip hop shit to say.
I was like, are we sure Pac wasn't around your mom, bro?
but you never know what blessings you get from losing. So
right.
that Kim was like, I need to bring you in for something. I think you'd be the great as a lead for her. She brought me in for the lead of Snowfall.
So you got brought in to be Franklin Saint initially?
Oh, I screen tested.
Okay.
Yeah, I was asked to screen test. Yeah, like I went in, and John didn't even recognize me until the first audition. And he was like, "Holy shit, that's my." He was like, "That's my fucking son. I just think it's amazing." He's like, "Where have you been?" He was like, "It was crazy. It was a beautiful reunion,
like a full circle moment."
Oh man, I'll never forget. It was Mother's Day. I just seen my it was really tough for me at that time. Like my family was going through it. I didn't put all our business out, but it was Mother's Day, and I just seen my mother and my grandmother in a very compromising situation. Like they were hiding. Shit, we was on the first floor of an apartment, hiding the air mattress in the bathroom type shit,
Damn.
On Mother's Day. And the next day was my audition for Snowfall.
And you knocked it out the park, obviously.
I did, but I think that the studio just wanted to go another way because the two creators are actually John Singleton and Erica Madio, who's from Downey. And he never gets enough credit for creating Snowfall. It was him and John's initial idea.
Yeah, John's like, the name,
John's the name, but their DNA together is what made the show. And then there's this a showrunner who I'm not going to mention, who was kind of put in position as a company man to kind of manage them because they were new to television.
Right.
And by the end of the situation, I just feel like a lot of the decision making was not left up to John. And from for whatever better or worse, but because of that, certain things happen, and that's fine. I'm okay with it because I think that God works how he works. The only thing I would say is that gave me my mentor back. Like we got to get back cool, and that leadership and that foundation and them Sundays that I missed and being up under him and learning and history and just everything more than just film and television. It was just a beautiful thing. And the only thing I miss that I wish I could have done was become a big enough star to give back to him like he's given us so many stars.
For sure.
And respect and love to them, but he never got the treatment that Scorsese got.
Right.
He never got the treatment.
Shit, he didn't even get to see what Snowfall became.
No, he didn't. And in my opinion, I just wish he would have had his Leo, his Robert De Niro.
Right.
Whoever his part, like the guy who's booming because he put him on, come back and make all his filmmaking dreams come true. So that's my only regret with that.
Right.
But
I mean, it ended up being like a greatly casted show.
Everybody in that show can act their ass off.
The Idris dude did a great job. Like, I didn't even know he was from the UK until I think I saw an interview after season 2. And I was like, this fucking kid's from London?
No, Damson's a star, hands down. Like, listen, the original people who were screen testing for Franklin Saint.
And the Uncle Jerome was such a good casting.
Oh, yeah, first of all,
he's amazing.
Look, Eamon Joseph is a different level of he's a different animal.
Okay, he's a beast.
He's a different animal, same beast. like he's really what Kobe be talking about. That's him. But when I speak of Damson earned that amongst, like, he didn't just win that against regular actor niggas. He won it against the best of the best out there. Like Kofi Siriboe was up for that role. Like I was up for like it's certain people who like get busy.
I heard like Dub C helped him with his like West Coast dialect.
Yeah, Dub was there to do the training and
You didn't help him at all, but hey, this how.
Of course I did, but I ain't never took no credit because Dub was there every day.
Right.
Initially like when we were just like people don't even remember.
So Dub C's on set with him.
YG was originally Kevin.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I remember right before bruh got, he was in the studio and got hurt.
Yeah.
And then the studio kind of freaked out, I think. And
wait, so YG was supposed to be in the show and then he got shot and then things, I
don't know why, but like after he got hurt, he wasn't Kevin no more.
Oh, wow.
And then it was Kofi.
That's crazy.
That's real shit. That's how this shit go, bro. This whole
I did not know YG was supposed to be in Snowfall.
Oh, man, listen. Kofi and I were up for Franklin. Kofi ended up being the lead of Queen Sugar. They moved me to Leon. I was Leon at some point.
Wow.
I went from being the lead to Leon to being to being Kevin. Like then they made Kevin a bigger role. It was crazy. But for whatever the reason, that's what it was. But what I'm saying is Damson is a star and he's also my friend and a good dude. Like he fun, he have a good time. But it's funny because I don't even think people have really realized how entertaining he is yet. but it will come, and that's what
I just met him at the Tyler the Creator show, and he was super nice guy.
Yeah, he's a fun guy.
He was just there by himself enjoying the Tyler show.
Yeah, that's Damson. Damson like that. He's really a charming, funny dude.
What's up, y'all? We got to stop the interview real quick to tell you about our good friends at MyBookie. That's right. It is NBA Finals. You got to hammer the Nuggets. I don't know. They might sweep the Heat. I would look at the serious odds on that. Go to MyBookie right now. Let's get some money, man. All right. Baseball, of course, is in full effect. We got Stanley Cup Finals. NFL season's on the way. Sign up at mybookie.ag right now. Use the promo code Bootleg, and you will get that first deposit bonus. All right? Look, I don't care where you're at. You can go to mybookie.ag. Let's gamble on some sports. They got the casino. You can do live blackjack. You can do live roulette, craps. You could do all kinds of slots. And, of course, bet on the NBA Finals. Bet on the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. Is crazy. Shout out to the Vegas Golden Knights. That's what I'm rooting for. And, of course, baseball season, man. All right? So, look, right now, mybookie.ag. Use that promo code Bootleg and sign up. When you do use that promo code, they're going to give you a first deposit bonus straight to your account. Free money, all right? mybookie.ag. Go do that. Also, got to give a shout out to our family at Blue Chew. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting hot outside. That means, I don't know what that means. It's just hot. So I feel like when it's hot, people want to fuck more, right? So, fellas, if you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, it happens to the best of us, I'm sure. Maybe you are old. Maybe you are dealing with stress at work. Maybe you don't want to sleep with the same lady that you're married to over and over. Need a little extra motivation to get that thing stayed up. You know what I mean? Go to bluechew.com, use the promo code Bootleg, and they'll send it straight to your door. 3-month supply of Blue Chew for free. All right. Now, does Blue Chew work? Yes, it does. You're going to get a 3-month supply to be able to see for yourself. BlueChew.com, promo code Bootleg. Now, if you don't know what it is the same active ingredient as Viagra and Cialis, but in a chewable form, and you do not have to go to a doctor's appointment. All right? You do everything online. You don't have to go sit at a doctor's office and talk to some old man in a lab coat about your dick issues. Not necessary anymore in 2023. All right? So go to Blue Chew, sign up with that promo code Bootleg, get a month supply for free. Let's get back to the interviews. When you get the script and you realize your guy's about to get killed off, what's that like as an actor?
I don't feel shit, nigga. I'm from the streets. That shit.
I'm just wondering. I was
I was glad to get my family out the hood.
I always just
thank you for the money, FX.
I always wonder when I watch my favorite shows,
right?
And you'll see one of these beloved characters get killed, on the actor side when they get that script, and they're like, oh, well.
So Kev, I don't know if you know this. I'm black. We die in everything. so I'm just used to the shit. No, I'm just kidding. I knew already.
Right. John, so you had an idea that
John already. Well, listen. There's certain things that I'm just not going to talk about right now because I don't want it to overshadow what I'm doing with music, what I'm doing with film and television. Right. Because when I talk about that, I want to talk about it from a place of pure truth where niggas can't say I'm hating.
Right.
So I got to win first. But the way that I could say it without being a snitch ass motherfucker is being like, other things happen. Some real situations happen that I didn't agree with how certain people handled them. John went to bat for me, and they found a way to be like, hey, we not sure if we want to keep him. And John came to me and was like, do you want me to fight for you? Do you want to stay on? Right. And John and I had we had movies with Netflix going. We had all types of shit going on. Like a movie, we had all types of things like writing and directing going on. And so he was like, do you want me to go to bat for you? And I was like, no, I don't want to be where I'm not wanted. Right. And he's like, well, it's not that they don't want you. They just want to, they're scared. They want to get you out of here because, whatever. And I said, I'll be all right. I'm straight, bro. I'm good. And I was good. I ended up as a lead on Raising Kanan. So, and for me, other actors, they operate out of fear because it's just like music. Like, you know when people come bringing your mixtape and shit, like they trying so hard. They love this shit so hard. They work so hard and they don't get nothing back from it. You have one opportunity to rap in front of Kev. You got one opportunity to get in front of like Kanye or somebody and do your shit. Mm-hmm. And then that could change your whole life. But I've been blessed enough to know my divine ordainment. Like people love me at home, bro. Like where I'm from, I'm solid. I could be down dick in the dirt and niggas respect me because of what I've done in real life.
Right.
My mama loved me. My grandma loved me. My section loved me. You feel me? So whether I book a role or not, first of all, niggas know I'm cold with this movie shit. as you can see, if I want to rap, I can rap good. I
Right.
can sing good. I can do whatever I really want to do. So everything is just timing. But I feel bad for other people because there's a desperation, and it's sad because people take advantage of that. In this
Well, you're in
industry.
like a great position as a musical artist because you do have like a real career, the very thriving acting career.
Thank you, man. Well, and there's a strike right now, right? So like,
yeah, how's that? So for people who don't understand, because
niggas not working.
yeah,
They out of work.
because all we do is hear about this writer's strike. My my kid goes to school in Burbank, so
Right. You know what's up
So
then.
some of his friends, like parents, are like stuntmen, or
Yeah, everybody is gang shit. So
so nobody is working.
bro, let me break this shit down for you. It's gang shit. When you get in the union, they taxing your ass. You don't even want to be in the union. They like, hey, bro,
So are you with the writers?
I'm with writing. I think I'm with DJ. I'm not sure. SAG.
No, I
and-
mean, are you like you agree with the writers going on strike? Like it's
bro, this gang shit. It don't matter.
Okay.
Like it's gang banging. Like it
so
doesn't matter.
yeah. So like if they
they're
strike,
correct.
everyone strikes.
Well, yes. Well, yes, now, and thank God. But it's not always been like that. There's like inner things fighting, but we're all coming together because we all got the same plight now. The problem is that profits have expanded massively, egregiously, and the compensation has remained the same. Much like in American culture with like the
everything?
minimum wage.
Everything.
Minimum
Yeah,
wage
minimum
is
wage.
raised
Yeah.
to like $12.
It does not reflect inflation.
Right, at all. Inflation is like, I don't know, 10x or some shit,
Right.
and then the minimum wage is
Yeah,
moved
it's-
up a few cents or whatever. That's the same thing that's happened with writers. Now, for me, I'm from a place where like one writer's check that it is right now can change my whole life and everybody's life where I'm from.
Right.
So it's hard for me to relate as an individual, but as a body and a group of people who are trying to set a standard so that egregious acts aren't happening by people at the top, I gotta support it. It's true.
Yeah.
The math is mathing. It is what
It
is.
makes sense
It makes
why
sense
they're
why
mad.
they're striking. It makes sense. And they need to.
So for you, is your Stars filming put to a halt, or did you already
Finish
wrap
everything on a halt,
Okay.
bro.
I didn't know if you were in the middle of shooting or like.
Well, we was literally the day I was supposed to go back to shoot, like they was like, wait, hold up. But a lot of the scripts were already written, so we may still go back.
Because everything's written.
Right, which means we're technically in the clear for some of those scripts. This is where it gets tricky. This is where it gets tricky because the most gangster of all the unions is IATC and the truckers, like
Okay.
the truck dudes.
The dudes who be driving the trucks
They,
and unloading
they don't
the
give
equipment.
a fuck. They have a we don't cross picket lines policy. It's mandatory. It's gangbanging. So even though they are contractually obligated to show up to work, if WJ, SAG, or DGA show up and they like form a picket line at any production,
They won't cross.
They ain't crossing it. So the secret is, and I'm probably snitching too much, but it is what it is. If we can get to you, we gonna get on your ass, and they not crossing. So shit gets stopped. You feel me? And that does affect everybody's pocket because then nobody's working. Productions get slowed down. Things ain't happening. I've been blessed enough to have been making a massive pivot, or not even a pivot, but I was doing music.
Well, you can focus on music a little bit more now.
Oh yeah, I got the. You see, I got the. Man, when I play this, I'm banking all I have on
Yeah.
music. And at first, it sounded stupid to everyone around me because they don't understand.
Right.
But when you come from nothing, you rolling the dice, bro. You going in, and now it looks like I'm brilliant because my homies ain't working.
And you are. And you're
Yeah,
able to work on
I'm
this
saying.
other thing you got going
Correct.
on.
That's the beauty of being independent. Like, I funded my own shit, bro.
Right.
Can't nobody tell me stop. And quite frankly, like, okay, I'm in solidarity with the writers and actors and all that, but this gives me time to work on my own spec, my own movies, my own music, my own TV, my own
The
shit.
show you're on, is that the same show Joey Badass is on?
Yes, it is. That's my brother. We got a record too.
How about to say, you guys got to do a record?
We got a whole types of shit
He's
going
a
on.
great actor.
Oh yeah, now he turned it into a sex symbol too. You know, he got tired
is. I know.
of
He's
the
doing
older
model-
white dudes
Dude,
being on the show.
I was at the fucking mall buying cologne. And I'll go to buy some cologne. I
Paco
look down
Rabanne.
and it's fucking Joey Badass modeling cologne. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, I can't wait till I get mine. Look,
the little
Damson
underground rap homie is
Look.
over here booming.
Dabson had Calvin Klein. First thing I did was take a picture of him and be like, look at your goof. I was so happy for him. And then, you know, Joey got Paco Rabanne. You know, the homies is really getting into these spaces. I'm like, I can't wait to get mine. I might be a little too rough though, but they should look fly.
Okay, you're a part of the Power universe now.
Yes, sir.
Power, the universe, or Snowfall?
What are we even talking about, bro? Like, you don't want me to answer that question because, look, first of all, I love Fifth. Fifth is
It's Snowfall, right?
Fifth is a beautiful. Yeah, just let me do my shit, bro. Don't let me get because look, I'm not scared of getting fired, and that's why everybody. That's why I don't do podcasts.
Right.
But I'm fucking with you, so I'm gonna tell you the truth. 50, you know, I love him, and he's built something beautiful. He creates stars.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, movies don't create stars, right? Like TV creates stars.
Yeah.
And 50 be doing that. So shout out to him. In my personal opinion, Power did something interesting internationally and something that was accessible for a large amount of people. But bar for bar, like what we talking about?
Right.
Snowfall is a bar for bar. Snowfall is a different level.
It's one of the
Now, if you ask me Snowfall versus Raising Kanan, we gonna have some conversations.
Okay.
Because Raising Kanan is top tier filmmaking. Like, shout out to Sasha Penn. It's different over there. Shout out to, like, my whole cast is like, look, it's tough because Eamon, Damson, Gail Bean, like they really go crazy. Isaiah, like everybody over there go crazy. Even their co-stars, like even the who plays Damson's mom is a legendary actress.
Great. Yeah, she's
right.
great.
Even the dude who played his dad is a legendary. But when I talk about Patina Miller, I love Damson. Damson is one of the best young actors we have. Patina Miller, Tony Award winning Miller, she might be one of the best when it's all said and done ever.
Wow.
And everybody around her, Haley Kilgore, Tony nominated. Crying every episode.
That's some real ass. Them Tonys is them real acting awards.
It's different, bro. And we got London Brown, who's giving a stellar performance. Then we have Makai Curtis. The youngest thing on our cast, Makai, is murdering everyone in the Power universe. Respect to everybody else. Makai's acting. When you look at him, you think he's 50.
Crazy.
That's a suburban kid.
Yeah.
He ain't nothing 50 about him in real life. Y'all hear him and be like, that's 50.
Right.
It's different on that side. The texture, the clothing. Frank, who does our clothing, is different.
Right.
The texture is different. If you watch bar for bar,
it's close.
Power might have them with Raising Kanan. Raising Kanan, I think.
I gotta be honest with you. I am the most unhip to the Power Universe person alive.
It's not your fault. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
I just never got stars. I never got the streaming, and then I'm like a Wire dude.
Bro, I never watched Power until I was on it.
Yeah, I never.
Facts.
I always I started to watch season 1.
Right. When you get into it, you're hooked.
So I watched the first 2 episodes of the first season of Power, and when the chick was like playing with herself in the back seat,
crazy. That's the first episode, bro.
I was like, eh.
Imagine watching that.
I'm like, I swear by The Wire, that's my favorite show ever.
Because it's one of the best shows of all time.
And then Snowfall just sucked me in, bro. Pause. That shit was amazing.
But if we're being real, like my homie was also on The Wire, is leaps and bounds better than Snowfall.
Well, I think The Wire is the best show ever.
It's top tier. It's literally.
I think it's The Wire.
Go ahead.
And then Sopranos and Breaking Bad.
Okay, so I would go. I go The Wire. And then I'd go.
I just think it's The Wire and everything else.
I think that we have to, essentially.
It's like everything else
it's not
is
even
great,
worth
but
it.
it's The Wire and then everything else.
Yeah, Rome was pretty great though. I ain't gonna.
What was it?
Rome.
Oh, I never watched Rome. That was on HBO too, right?
Rome was hard. HBO got hitters, bro. They got some real hitters.
All of them, man. HBO, for whatever reason, whatever's in the water over there, man, they don't fuck around when it comes to their shows.
And the original Wire,
Game of Thrones was crazy.
No, it's crazy. Homicide. The original network show that the creators of The Wire created, which was Homicide something, was actually one of the best shows on television for years. And
I never watched it, but I heard about
it. It was hard. And the West Wing hard,
Oz was dope.
Oz was dope. Like, yeah, they got hitters. Like, but if we really talking about it, Snowfall is really fun and it has great actors. But when it comes to The Wire, it's different.
So the thing about Snowfall is, let me know, because you weren't on the show at this time. Mm-hmm. When the episode happens last season, and they rebounded with the episode where everybody was fucked up at the wedding. I love that episode. But when the episode happens where they get locked up in the basement and there's a fucking, was it a grizzly bear or a tiger or some shit?
Bro, that's when they lost me.
When that happened, I was just like...
Yeah, it went too far. Right. But this is what happens. Look, I'm not going to speak too heavy on that show because there's too many people I love and care about benefiting from that show. And until I'm as big as that show, I have nothing to say about that show but love.
The writing got a little shaky. It was crazy.
That was ridiculous, and everybody can agree that was ridiculous. Yes. So let's just leave it there because you never saw that. I
like the way it ended. I thought it ended well. Season 5 was a nice...
Which is hard to do for a television show.
Season 4 was tough, though. When that happened, I was just like, wait a minute.
I'm going to say no comment for right
There's a random white dude living in the hood with a fucking tiger in his fucking basement?
Bro, no comment.
And they escaped?
Listen, I think you are speaking for the people.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to make this a Snowfall show.
But then there's my wife. There's my wife, right? Because my wife, she loved that shit. But my wife, loves, she likes, fucking...
But that's what I mean is, nobody... Bro, let's keep it a buck. Nobody watched The Wire when it was first out except for drug dealers who really sold drugs and critics.
It was like the nerdy show to watch. It's almost like Succession right now.
Yes. And then years later...
I feel like finally the general population are like getting hip to Succession, where like the TV nerds have kind of been hip for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, they're the early adopters. It's like knowing
The
that
Wire was like that. It had to end for people to be like, let me go back and get the DVDs.
it's the great American novel, right? It's the shit that everybody knows is great, but it's too long, so nobody read
good.
it. Like,
Omar
unless you really like
Little's
books.
like my favorite character in TV ever.
One of the best ever, yeah. And like, in my opinion, like, yeah. And there's, like I said, I don't want to make this that show, but in real life, I think Snowfall did
It was a great entertaining
did his
show.
job. It was very entertaining. One of the most entertaining shows on television, hands down. And Dempsey's one of the most talented people, and so is Eamon and everything.
How involved is 50 in like the day to day? Like, do you like hear
He
from
sets
him?
it up. He set it up. He was very involved day to day when we begin and get the show rolling. But then it's like, bro, I set it up. Y'all got to do what you got to do. And really, truly, it becomes the mechanizations of everybody who's in key positions behind the scenes, such as Sasha Penn, the showrunner. We got Tash. Who's
Has he
also
listened to
a
the
writer.
music? Have you sent him any records?
Oh, 50 know what's up. 50 know what's up. But he like, we gonna see what's going on.
That'd be crazy. You get 50, at least do a skit or something?
I know 50 my dog, but you know what, bro? I'm not one who asks for handouts. I'd rather the homies, like, when they peep it, be like, wait, hold
I
up.
want to be a part of this.
Yeah, that's better for me. I don't want no, unless somebody says, because I feel like when you ask, first of all, everybody's uncomfortable. Because, like, bro, like, I'm sure a million people asking you. But if I show you what I'm doing and you fuck with it, then it's genuine. You fuck with it. Like, you call it, hey, this, you don't suck. Come on the show.
Do you, for you musically, like obviously being around 1500 or nothing and their start, because they're legends, Grammy Award winning producers.
Been there since they was teenagers.
They got the school open. They're doing so much. Who would you say, just not even necessarily somebody you know, but like sonically, artist wise, would you say have the most influence on your sound?
Oh, like probably Sade, Anita Baker, and like oddly enough, bro, Chico DeBarge.
Hey.
Chico was a hood nigga. Like certain people,
I do believe Chico DeBarge is the son, Diddy's son's real dad, right?
What?
One of Diddy's
Of
sons.
Of whom?
One of Diddy's sons.
Oh, hell no.
Actual father is Chico DeBarge.
You're tripping. I think you're talking about I'll Be Sure.
You might be right.
And I think you're talking about
I'll Be
Quincy.
Sure?
It's definitely I'll Be Sure. And Quincy
Are we
is going to
sure?
kill me if I let you rock with that. Did to go to I'll Be Sure.
Then I'm tripping.
But
It's
they
not Chico DeBarge.
They both light skinned though.
Look at me mixing
And
up my
R&B.
90s light skin R&B singers. You're like, no, you're wrong.
And this is why
I'll be sure.
And this is why they need a nigga like me in R&B, because we can't let that rock.
So Chico DeBarge, Anita Baker, Sade's.
Yeah, if I could be the street Sade or like
The street Sade's
or the
crazy.
ghetto Tracy Chapman, I'm good.
I love that.
Just be like Frank Ocean, pop in every now and then and do great art and dip out. That'd be awesome. That's what I would like to do.
Do you feel like R&B is like, I feel like it's finally kind of getting into a really good space in terms of like, now when you turn on the radio, you'll hear like real R&B records, like Coco Jones' I See You is a big record. Like there's tons of like records that like Money Long's had.
Leon Thomas, like, come on, bro, let's be real. R&B's always had a bunch of people. This is what happened. Everybody talks about like R&B. I know you were trying to avoid it, but like, everybody thought R&B needed resuscitation.
I never thought that. I just think that it became kind of underground for a little bit.
Well, underground just means it wasn't the pretty girl at the ball
But you
anymore.
know what I mean? Like when you and I were growing up, R&B was on the radio.
Yeah, because it's not the pretty girl at the ball anymore.
It's coming around.
It turned 30 years old and gained a little weight. But the reality is these young dudes, these young kids are finding creative ways to have very interesting conversations around that music. Like Brent is an R&B artist.
Right.
And it's when you hear Sonder and you hear those records, you've never heard an R&B record like that. When you hear Leon Thomas go off, you're like, oh, that's like, it's D'Angelo, but it's not. Like it's something else. And these guys is really killing it, man. There's a lot of competition and it's a lot of saturation because these are love babies. They're romance.
Yeah, obviously shout out to Brent, shout out to SZA.
All them people. And they going crazy.
Eric
SZA going
Bellinger
crazy.
got a dope record on the radio right now.
Eric's always been a great writer.
I feel like we lost the R&B group.
Yeah, well, what we lost,
Or just groups in general. There's no more groups.
Yeah, people don't like, because
The music industry sucks so much,
yeah.
nobody wants to split up the pie.
No, nobody, because it doesn't make any sense.
It's like, what happened to a Jagged Edge in 2023? There's no more Jagged Edges or 112s or Drew Hills, none of it.
That's never going to happen. We're going to see singular artists for a long time because it just makes more financial sense.
It does.
One artist is a headache enough.
And you know what? It never
Chris?
It never actually works out.
No.
Because there's always one person in the group that's better than everyone else.
Bro, I think that's just indicative of capitalism and human culture.
Got to stop the interview to tell you about our family at Odd Socks. That's right, the most comfortable socks in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Go to oddsocksofficial.com. Use the promo code Bootleg Kev or Bootleg. Both promo codes work. You'll save 20% out at checkout. 20% off. These are the Odd Socks basics, all right? Now, you can get like a pack of all black, pack of all whites. Of course, they got all kind of crazy licenses. WWE, Cheech and Chong. They got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They got SpongeBob SquarePants, bruh. Look, they got the SpongeBob SquarePants Krabby Patty draws. Yeah. Now, you don't want crabs, but you do want Mr. Krabs underwear because these are fire. All right. So look, go to oddsocksofficial.com right now. Use that promo code Bootleg. Save 20% off at checkout. And yeah, listen, trust me when I say most comfortable socks you'll ever put on your fucking feet and the most comfortable boxer briefs. What are we talking about, man? All right. Oddsocksofficial.com, promo code Bootleg. Save 20% off at checkout. Great gift. And just treat yourself. All right. Also, got to shout out to our family at King Palm. Now, if you guys don't know about King Palm is all natural, baby. Yes, all right? We're talking about the leader when it comes to tobacco-free, natural, organic leaf wraps. If you're a smoker, a toter, a straight West Coaster, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you're into, King Palms, they got it for you. What's great about these are like one of the best products that they sell. Now, this is a terpene-infused, tobacco-free leaf. And what's dope is you stuff your flower into it, and then you press on the thingy, you know what I'm saying? And then you got flavor. I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's stuffed with some great tree from Hardin, of course. Ah, look at that. Right? Get that thing stuffed up. The tip has got that flavor in it. Wherever you're at, man, make sure you check out the, they got the smoke shops. They got those on lock. They got 7-Elevens on lock. We only smoking out of King Palms, baby. You already know what it is. And if you go to kingpalms.com, kingpalm.com, and you use the promo code BootlegKev, you will save 50% off at checkout, half off at checkout, 50% off if you go to kingpalm.com and use that promo code. The promo code is down below. Go run it up. Try some of these flavors too, man. The peach pineapple, the strawberry shortcake. They just got so much going on. There's also all kind of dope smoking accessories you can get half off, y'all. What are we talking about? Save 50% off. Kingpalm.com, promo code below. It's either Bootleg or Bootleg Kev. These promo codes got my head hurt. Try both of them, all right? One of them will get you 50% off, goddammit. Anyway, let's get back to the interview. Like, I mean, I think about
that's just what it is. It's a
so right now we got Blue Bucks Clan, who's a duo.
They a duo. Together, I thought it was 3 niggas until I seen the 2 of them niggas going crazy.
Together, they're strong. I love them. I mean, Shoreline Mafia broke up. OGZ goes solo and goes crazy.
Well, you know why that happened.
SOBRBE.
They broke up. Yeah, everybody breaking up. Fat Boys break up. Now everybody wake up. But the reality is, bro, that shit was destined to happen because like everybody was taught. It's a cultural shift. Also, the kid. First of all, R&B is a reflection of whatever the state of love is in the culture. The state of love is in jeopardy. So people are making impressions of love, right? The music is that we're making now is what we wish was what we used to think love was supposed to be. But that's why Brent works, SZA works, because it's what love looks like now, which isn't a fairy tale no more. It's kind of toxic. It's not a fairy tale no more. It's what it is. Now, I think that the pendulum is going to swing to people desiring romance again. They're gonna want those lush voices. They're gonna want the hers of the world to go crazy. Hers
crazy.
Yeah, crazy. But we gonna start seeing more like I think vocalists again, and because I think women want to fall in love again, and even me, I'm probably gonna lean more into like romantic records. But I can only make what I know right now. I'm dealing with trauma, so I'm talking about my past street shit. I just happen to croon. You know, I'm not even really a singer. I'm a crooner. Like
there's a difference.
Yeah, there's a real difference. Like if we being real, like
I feel like Roddy Ricch is like a crooner.
Roddy Ricch is a nigga who talks in melody. Yeah. And he's also one of the best. He's so hard. He's amazing.
Amazing.
He's one of my favorite artists of all time. He's made legendary records.
Roddy's a legend, bro.
He's made legendary records.
I always say I know
a lot of
people didn't like his second album, but I'm like, it's so hard for Roddy Ricch to make bad music. It's like.
But I think that's also part of the problem. Like your sophomore album after having that freshman of a debut is crazy. It's crazy
to have that song.
Tough wait.
And that was a weird timing too because the box popped off December 2019.
But if we speak of the science, right? The records that worked for Roddy were Southern records at first until Mustard and him had that song.
Yeah,
so
well,
he was making Southern
Ballin',
music.
and
He was
then
making
high
Southern
fashion
music. Yeah, he was making Southern music until Mustard did the
You're from LA
R&B.
because I do
LA.
feel like if you think of the artists who have transcended outside of being West Coast artists, right?
Yeah, they don't make West Coast music.
They don't make West Coast
Like,
music.
if we talking
you think
about
of
it-
Kendrick, you think of Schoolboy Q, you think of Tyler.
He was
you think
accepted
of,
on the East Coast first.
Right.
Tyler was accepted by White Kids in Middle America
Q
first.
was doing records with ASAP Rocky.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Kendrick.
Look at their concerts at first. They'll tell you I'm sure they'll tell
Roddy
you.
Ricch doesn't make traditionally West Coast music.
No, bro, because if you want to break out of this, like, first of all,
Even YG's first real
record
hit,
was a Southern record.
My Hitter.
A Southern record.
That was-
Literally
listen,
by your boy.
Tooted and Booted was a
a West
big
Coast
record,
hit
but it was a West Coast
while I was in
record.
high school.
But My Hitter changed shit.
And that wasn't, and if we being real, yes, it's his record, but in real life, we know whose record that is.
Rich Homie Quan.
It's Rich Homie Quan. And by the way, that's no disrespect. YG built that ground.
For sure. And My Crazy Life is a classic.
LA classic.
And he's sleeping with Sweetie right now, so he's winning.
Well, let's not talk about it. Why are we doing it?
I just-
Because I got to see these people. I don't want no smoke.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Don't put me in nobody's business, Kev.
All I'm saying is salute YG, Kaylani, Sweetie,
Well, look, you know,
My
LA.
Crazy Life for real. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look! Shout out to your boy doing this thing. All I can say is that we all know that for you to break out, just like for rappers to be the biggest rappers on the game, for you to be
Yeah.
top of the game, you have to make R&B songs for girls. We all know that. Every top rapper,
helps.
that's it. That's the blueprint. It's not a question.
Right.
The only way that Hove sees the top of the charts is making a song with a female demographic song.
Yeah, I think back in the day that might have been. I think before the stream, because now there's streaming artists who aren't,
Don't do that, yeah.
They don't depend on radio like you had. Before you really kind of had to have something to appeal to women for radio.
Correct.
But now it's like if you just have a fan base and like you're someone like Dirk,
Yeah.
you could just put out
But let's
tons of crazy records.
But let's
and
talk
the
about
fans
it.
will stream.
Let's talk about it. That took years. A. And B, what is the record that when he was moving in the streets that women was like, oh, I can listen to Dirk? It was Homebody.
What about
Like, really?
what's the female Lil Baby record?
Oh, you started us as close friends.
Yeah, Close
Come
Friends.
on, bro.
Right.
We could go look at the
No, you're right,
numbers.
you're right. Close Friends is
he
one of them.
always. First of all, what is the hottest? The second, if not the hottest record off of the new record is I know you miss
Shit with
me.
Friday?
When you miss
Friday's
me,
so hard.
when it's gonna be
Hey,
pretty
his voice is
baby.
crazy.
He's the like I think everybody is like a variation of, like, by the way, I love Friday. He's
Friday's
amazing.
voice is
It's so dramatic. He's basically Giveon and The Weeknd put together.
Yeah.
Like everything just sounds
Because
operatic.
even on that Khaled record, he sounds crazy.
Oh, bro, Friday is my favorite artist. Like when he dropped his mixtape, I was like, bro, I need that. I need
His
that.
voice is crazy.
No, and by the way, my bad on comparison. I know new artists that sucks, but he's amazing.
His tone is wild.
Whatever he's doing is the thing that he deserves to do. I just think that stuff like that stands out. But once again, I don't think you can avoid. I think I'm going to be proven to be right that even though the landscape has changed because you can have a niche market due to streaming, if you want to win, if one ring to rule them all on some Lord of the Rings shit, you gotta talk to the females because
sure.
even Roddy, like,
Yeah,
even
Roddy, things changed for him when he.
that Mustard record went crazy.
So for you, because we've seen it work with artists that might be known for something else. Like Mac Wilds is a great example.
Same
of somebody
Tristan.
who did it, you know.
Tristan, yeah, that's my dog. My first Grammy nomination was on his album.
Was there for you, like, are you noticing at least, like, you kind of, it's a little harder for you to earn people's respect as an artist because they perceive you as an actor?
I don't know. I don't care because I was a street nigga first.
Right.
So, like, my respect doesn't come from, and honestly, Tristan's a project baby first.
Yeah.
Like, people don't know that. Like, he just likes R&B music. So he does R&B shit, and he got an R&B voice. He can really sing. So that's what he liked. But if we talking about how the market wants to receive you, of course they want to see you how they want to see you.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been blessed enough and lucky enough to the kind of music that I think I'm making might be easier to digest with the
Right.
people who watch me on screen because I'm talking about past situations
That are not too far away from the stuff
from the stuff that I kind of am in the world of. Now, if I go make a pop record and I'm making records like what's her face? You just mentioned her, the one who had that big record, the female artist that came out of nowhere, songwriter. What's her name? You just said her record. What's her name? She just had the big record.
songwriter.
Hours.
Money Long.
Money Long. That remember she had that super poppy record that came out right after.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It didn't connect.
right, but that's not. But if I did that, maybe my audience that's not who following me right now.
Right, the people who are following you, you're making the type of music that they might be like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, this kind of hard. Like
Yeah.
this may not, because all I gotta do, really, bro. I look at everything as an opportunity. So like, all I gotta do is not suck. if I don't suck, people will be like, even if they want to hate, they're like, okay, I don't like this, I don't like that. I'm like, but if I keep going and it keeps working, at some point, bro, you're going to have to at least respect the grind.
And you know what's crazy is like, when you used to watch movies as like when I was a kid and you were probably similar in age, the guys who would be like rapping on the movies or on the shows would also have music in the soundtrack.
That's a fact.
Almost always.
All the time.
So you'd get like the Above the Rim or
Yeah,
Colors
right,
or
yeah.
whatever.
The soundtrack was hard.
And the soundtrack were crazy. And you'd always be like, oh, the guy in the movie's got a song on the
That's
fucking
a fact.
soundtrack.
That's
like,
a fact.
So are you... Well, I mean, everyone's out of work, but like, obviously, you're killing it in the TV game.
Yeah,
are you actively, like, how different is the movie hustle and the TV hustle?
The difference is, well, that's the thing is, even the writer's strike is about more so TV writers' pay and TV writers' rooms and how they're being kind of like finessed out of a bag because of these predatory practices. The movie dudes are kind of like,
we ain't tripping.
We ain't tripping unless it's AI. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Unless it's artificial intelligence.
Unless it's artificial intelligence, like, we good. But that's not really, but we're all in solidarity. I'm just telling you the truth. Like, so when I talk to, because I got people like who are executives, who are film executives, TV executives. I talk to everybody. People fuck with me. So I talk to them. I'd be like, what's the real, you know? And everybody's kind of like, well, we're just waiting to see how it plays out. Movies is you write a spec. You know, you could get hired on assignment to write a spec. There's less steps than in the TV deal. When you do a TV show, you got to do a blueprint before you get to the treatment. Before you even get to the pilot, there's like 5 steps.
Oh shit!
And they get to parcel out the money a little bit more. And also, you're not getting paid as much unless you're popping. So movies, I started off writing movies. You know,
So
I wrote
like
New Jack City 2.
You're getting a bag on a movie because there's a budget already
They
set
are.
aside.
This is development. Here, hey, look, like here's a certain amount of money.
Right.
And to develop. Now, you still have steps. You still have to do a first draft, second draft, rewrite. They're owed that. And they don't even have to pay you for the second steps if they don't want to. If they don't feel like you're doing what you're supposed to do, they'll just give it to another writer. You'll get second credit, and you don't get as much money on the royalties or back end. That's if you get blessed enough to have a movie get made. But with TV writers, they kind of, I think they kind of string you on a little bit more, and the money is parceled out a little bit longer, and it's more of a grind. It's more of a blue collar work, and so that's why it's kind of like
it's more of a daily thing too.
Yeah,
you're writing every week. You're in writers' rooms,
and it's the same thing with the acting. With an acting contract, unless you're on, well, I guess network isn't dead, but network is not the primary thing anymore. It's streamings like Netflix. You know, you could be there. The most. If you ever looked at the highest paid actors, it would always be like 5 people off NCIS 6, like
right, or Friends or something.
Right, it'd be something crazy on a 6.
Some hit TV show,
right? Because they're doing 22 episodes, and each episode they're getting paid $100,000 to $600,000. You know, but you're doing so many episodes, and then you do TV. TV is just instead of 8 months out your year, TV is like you're doing 8 months out the year to 6 months out the year to shoot something. But for a movie, maybe you're doing 3 to 6, or maybe 2.
Yeah, and then also like if you think about Netflix, you're like for every Stranger Things, there's like 100 other shows that aren't on that level, and they just maybe last 1 or 2 seasons,
and they just throwing bread. They trying to see what hits. They're going off algorithm and shit, and that's cool. But for me, as it relates to me as a person who's trying to create, it's the same solution. All of these pieces can change, bro. This is all just distractions for me, because at the end of the day, bro, it's the name of the game of what you're doing right here. You work at an institution, and you know that your leverage is limited there. Just like Head knew, my leverage is limited there.
Yeah, I don't work there anymore.
All right,
they run my show. They syndicate my show, but I record my show at the crib or here.
And what does that mean? You pay for it,
right?
Because the simple conversation.
I put up the risk, and then the show they just picked up my show, so I'm on in all these markets, and I don't work for nobody.
So when you ask me what's the difference, I say the only difference for me is what my mom and my daddy taught me, which is, hey, look, if you pay for it, you own it. Yeah. You can tell people what to do now. Somebody
I'm curious,
can tell you what to do if somebody pay for it.
From your perspective, from somebody who's done so much in the entertainment industry, what would be your advice for somebody who maybe has a good idea or maybe has put together like a great idea for a pilot or like a concept for a TV show, but they have 0 relationships in the industry? What would be your advice to somebody like that? How to break in, how to get their script in the right hands, how to try to get some sort of movement in an industry that, to me, it just, even living here, the movie industry, the TV industry, it feels unpenetratable. And I'm sure a lot of people feel that way about the music industry.
It's the same thing. Everything, it's all the same shit. The only difference is that, like, there's more miracles in music. There's more happy accidents in music because the threshold to entry, the barrier to entry is a little lower.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to go straight to the marketplace.
Yeah, because you could just like record in your bedroom.
SoundCloud.
And
Boom.
you're amazing.
Yeah.
You're up. But with movies, it costs so much more to have a product that can compete with the other products that are on the assembly.
Right.
So what I would say is this. First of all, the simple thing is what you doing, bro. It's like same thing that was told to me that I knew to do. Just like go make your own shit. Collaborate with people who are your superior, who are your peer group, and keep to bettering your craft and invest in yourself and keep it manageable so that you're not encroaching upon your personal life if you have responsibilities. If you don't have responsibilities, roll the fucking dice while you young.
Go in.
If you do have responsibilities, please do not like unless you like Selena Daddy and you like fuck it like and you got a partner that's with you like I don't.
Like if someone bankrolled their own pilot, right? What would they do with that? Would they put it on YouTube? Would they shop it around with an agent?
You could do that. That may work. I think that it's a low likelihood. I would say take the same money that you would spend on a 60-page pilot, which is going to be, let's say however much money you would spend on that, and spend that same amount of money on a 3 to 6 or 7 minute short that can display your idea or the fraction of your idea so that you can go get other people to invest what you need to go do what they need to do.
Gotcha.
People just need to see the idea look cool and work. And
so it's kind of like getting a record deal. You have to find a production company that believes in the idea to bankroll how it should be done.
Or you bankroll it. Like I found out with a lot of artists, even Quick and them, like I heard that they was recording in their basement and then they took their little demo tape to whomever and the person was like, okay, this is something. We'll put more money in it because it looks like it may work. Right. I'll invest equity with you. Same thing me and my team doing. So it's all the same, bro. It's business is business.
Right.
If you invest in your own shit, when it works, you get all the funds. But you also got to take the risk of falling on your ass. I don't advise people because I don't know their personal situations. All I can say is if you want to do it, this is how you go about it. You got to bank on yourself and you got to work with people who are both slightly above you and near you so that you can both improve and keep your community growing.
That's dope. June 23rd, your EP is coming.
Street Journal Volume 1. Got some cool features on it. Also got some dope music. Sticks and Stones is out right now. That's making motion. We on like 3 or 4
You
playlists.
just shot a music video too?
Yeah, today. For both of them songs. Yeah.
Your music video's got to be crazy, right?
Oh, you going to see it before we get up out of here. It's going to go crazy. Right. Yeah.
Anything else you have on the way? Obviously, outside of music, I'm sure the writer strike is kind of putting a bit of a...
Well, listen, we still got the 3rd season of Raising Kanan coming out.
It's already done.
Yeah, we've been done that. Y'all now next summer we don't know what's going on. I think that's coming out in the fall or something like that. They pushed it back. Don't quote me, but yeah, it's just. But for right now,
anything else in the can that you filmed that's on the way?
Oh, Them season 2. I wrote on Them season 2, so that's coming. But I would still say the music right now is gonna save everybody's life. I can go take care of my family, so do that. Go listen.
Go
to
stream.
Songs, go stream it. All that.
And of course, go check out the freestyle we recorded too, a separate YouTube video.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be it. Yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate you
for making me. Thanks for making me rap, Kev. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Because now I'm gonna be rapping.
Just keep crooning. Appreciate you pulling up, man.
All right, King.
Yes, sir.
Fuck with you.
Hey, appreciate y'all watching another interview brought to you by our good folks at Hardin. Now listen, y'all, when you're in Las Vegas, you get in that fucking Uber, you land at the airport, hit that taxi, tell them to take you to Hardin, the #1 premium cannabis dispensary in the fucking world, y'all. I'm telling you, you walk in, they treat you like a king or a queen or whatever you're into, all right? They got the craziest selection of premium cannabis you'll see, period, anywhere, let alone in Las Vegas, but just anywhere, all right? Not only can you go get the best tree, you will get the best experience, the best customer service, the best bud tenders. You walk into Hardin and that shit just smells amazing. They got their own fucking scent. Literally, you get into my car, I got a bottle of it. My car smells like Hardin because it's just the best fucking place. Go follow them online, Hardin_Las Vegas. Hardin_Las Vegas. Go to their website, hardinlasvegas.com. All right, when you go, you're in Vegas, you'll pull up, tell them I sent you, they're going to take care of you the right way, all right? Look, they got these things in there, man, these moon rock pre-rolls that I just had that just absolutely melted my face off. Shout out to Hardin, all right? You got to go fuck with Hardin, man. Hardin_Las Vegas. Thank y'all, man. I love these guys. They're like family to us. And, hey, we're going to drop another interview soon. If you're watching this, you're at the end of the interview, though. Much love.